So we can start. Well, I thought everything was up. Got to get hydrated.
Peace. This is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenamejourney.com.
We got a powerful show tonight, family. Don't get hydrated.
Let us pray.
Time for bed.
She said love.
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, send the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die
got a
like
call.
men and fall like one of the princes.
We got a call already. Brother Shamar.
Thou shalt inherit all nations.
I want to welcome. Thank you for joining the call, my friend. All right, Brother Shamar, we doing intro. So, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You ready to join the conversation tonight, my friend?
This is Kadar Franks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey.
About to kick it tonight, because I was just thinking about what we was talking about, and I was going to bring some of that up in this discussion.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
I'm not moving my body like I should. I'm going to have to start getting back into my running.
And you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Good night, ladies.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter.
Uh-oh, Miss Tracy up on the line. Oh, it's about to go down tonight. The tribe is coming out. We got CeeLo on air. We got Miss Tracy. We got Mr. Hutchinson. It's about to go down. Brother Shamar.
And you are now listening.
Who else is going to call in? Let's go ahead this conversation.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy.
How you doing, Miss Tracy?
This is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
This is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give shout out to Silver. All discrimination out there. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my dad for raising me and my family to be around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do so big.
So, look like I might have to go to Periscope because Instagram don't like me that much. So, we're going to try Periscope pretty soon. I'm going to give it a couple more days. But no, we got at least one person popping up as a daily toaster with us on Instagram. But hey, family.
This is Cleveland, and you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
We got that 32 pounds. About to go down.
Right now,
hang in there, family.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry this name. This is what I'm telling you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Time to get ready for a fight. We about to knock this.
Stand up.
This proverb about tonight. Folktales, my fault. on now. Gotta get it up. Get your weight up. Loosen up. We about to change lives tonight, family. I need y'all to understand we're not playing tonight. This is a powerful story. I read it this morning. Coming to change lives. Starting with mine. We're going to ask some questions tonight. This story is going to bring up some questions.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim,
you don't deserve to carry his name.
This is what I just come at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shout out to Shout out. Stand up. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
It's hard to play that Sasha March. Now I gotta retape it because I should talking like the wrong person now. Make sure you like and share, family. All those out there, make sure you like and share. Let's build the movement. Let's keep it going. Because we're about to talk about some stuff that we're going to be doing in the future. I have had enough. Greetings to the family. Yo, this is Brother Hatim coming at you live and direct. We are streaming live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Uber Conference. We are live on YouTube. Listen, family, I'm trying to get the message out. I'm trying to get the word out. Now, before we get into this, let's handle some business. First things first, right? This Kuumba, this weekend, this Kuumba, I won't say the day. Somebody else can say the day because I already owe push-ups. I'm behind. There's a backlog of push-ups that this old man owes, right? But there's a backlog. I mean, this weekend at 3 p.m. on Kuumba, that's the day for those who don't speak the language, we will be showing and discussing the movie entitled The Spook Who Sat by the Door. $5 for adults, 17 and under is free. This is a fundraiser for Kwanzaa 365 for our next event. Our next event will be the Malcolm X Festival. And we're going to add on and build up from what we did last year to this year. We're going to make it bigger. We're going to make it better. We're going to solidify the culture, as I say in the intro for the show. If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. And that's really a thing that I want to hit on tonight, right? Because I had a discussion with one of the powerful young people that I've been blessed to work with. And I was talking about how a lot of stuff that I write has to be adopted. You know, one of the issues that I have with my writing is I'm not a very good writer. I realize this, right? You know, so a lot of stuff when I put it out, you know what I'm saying, I send it to other people, and it's not all the way clear, but they don't tell me that. I tell them this, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not an editor. You know what I'm saying? My issue, my only point is in anything that I write, anything I create, did you get the major idea? Well, anyway, when I be writing out frameworks for camps and the ideas that we work with in Gye-Nyame, one of the things that people told me is that you got to tone it down a little bit, man. You got to tone it down. You know what I'm saying? You scam people. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got funders and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, I don't care about none of that because I am a firm believer that we have to start supporting those things that are true to our hearts. And we have to start doing things and be unapologetically who we are. one of the reasons that we are in the position we are in right now is because we haven't accepted the reality that our ancestors have handed to us. We haven't accepted who we are. We're trying to fit into other people's places and times rather than creating our own. And sometimes that means blowing up other people's shit. You know what I'm saying? That means exposing some of their bullshit, right? And that could be very uncomfortable for a lot of us, right? So I'm sitting here talking to Brother Shamar, and I'm talking about integrating all of at least 4 of the African-centered holidays. Kwanzaa, the Malcolm X Festival, which will happen around spring, right? What happened in spring. Then in the summertime, we have Juneteenth, as well as some of the camping trips. So between spring and fall, we have camping trips. And then we have that Juneteenth holiday, which happens around the summer solstice. Then we move up into a holiday that we got to come up with, or one that's already, that may be in motion, that's happening around the fall equinox. And then we move into the high holiday, or the major holiday, which is Kwanzaa. Those 7 days in which we have built up. When Marcus Garvey happens in August, so that's kind of summer. You know what I'm saying? So we can add the Marcus Garvey celebration in there, but we need one. We need to have them 4 major ones, I believe. You know what I'm saying? We can have this discussion. Winter, spring, summer, fall. You know what I'm saying? Right close to those major. It ain't cosmic because it don't affect the whole universe. But I don't know, astrological holidays. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like there's points in times that happen. There's changes in season that happen. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of throws things in line. So you got those 4 cardinals, like for the 4 cardinal directions, you got the 4 cardinal holidays that pop off. You got the winter solstice, summer solstice, which is winter solstice, summer solstice. Then you got the spring equinox, fall equinox. Right around it, we need holidays, right? Then we can fill in the gaps in between it, because one of the things that I was talking to Brother Shamar about was doing, rather than making it just a camping trip, making it a village. You know what I'm saying? Where the whole family could come out. You understand what I'm saying? Where it's like, it's not just Gye-Nyame doing it. It's our village. It's our collective coming together. And one of the things we really got into, because what kind of frustrates people about what I write, I'm writing stuff to challenge individuals on the warrior path, because it's like you come into the conscious community. All you got to do is pick up a book, read for a couple of weeks, watch a couple of YouTube videos, and all of a sudden you're an expert and you're able to talk about all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? From alien encounters to ancient history to economics. You know what I'm saying? We can do that nowadays. You know, and some people are real good at it, right? But one of the things I'm asking is, what is the thing that separates those that come into our collective, far as approaching the warrior's path? Because every culture needs warriors. And now I want to be clear, I'm not talking about the warrior position in life, where in our collective, far as Columbus, the warrior position happens right after puberty, and it goes right after puberty until you're about 35. Then you enter the nation. I'm not talking about that phase. I'm talking about individuals that walk the warrior path, because every culture needs individuals to walk the warrior path. Individuals that protect the culture, individuals that shield the culture and protects the borders of the culture. What do we have in our community, or in the community where you at? What do you have, or what do we have here in Columbus that separates those that's just yapping from those that are actually talking? And that's what I try to instill in the camp, because I don't want people to just be running around and being like, I'm a warrior in this group. And you know what I'm saying? What you mean warrior? Are you in a warrior position of your life, or are you on a warrior path? You understand what I'm saying? Because for me, we got to start giving our own pedigrees. Now, I got guests, so I'm allowed them to go and speak on this a little bit if they want to, or we keep on moving. So, any one of y'all got something y'all want to say on this?
I understand what you're saying.
You know, because we have to identify those that are really with us, right? And oftentimes, the only way that happens and the way that our ancestors protected us was through initiation. Now, when people are able to jump over the initiation, right, this is when you start having problems. Now, individuals don't, because what does an initiation do? Go ahead. Anybody, you want to say something?
Yes, what's the initiation for a nation builder?
No, not just the nation builder. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you initiate into warriorship, you initiate. So in phases of life, you have the initiation into the warrior stuff. That's the rites of passage piece where everybody go through. But like for individuals that's entering the warrior path, for the protectors of the culture, right? Those legit protectors of the culture, what is the initiation? Now we got to clean up the first one where we go through the phases of life and we connect those with the holidays. You know what I'm saying? And this is why it's important to have holidays. Like during Kwanzaa, not only should the African dancers come out and other people from the community come out, but there need to be a collective of individuals who have been training themselves through the last year that come and make a presentation to the community. This is what we have done over this last year to prepare to protect our culture, to prepare to expand our culture. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like right now, anybody all of a sudden can determine that they're part of us. And that's not healthy. That's not safe. That's not safe. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to identify us. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's like, for example, I mean, because I'm not going to really go into what I was talking with the piece that I'm talking about doing. I have a talk with those individuals when it's time. You know what I'm saying? But with the initiation, you have to push an individual to such a point in a short amount of time that they are able to push themselves beyond. And the only thing that will help them make it through is the hand of our ancestors, is the aid of our ancestors, is them being able to call on something deeper than or bigger than themselves. Because when you just allow anybody to walk in, you allow agents to walk in. When you allow anybody to walk in, you allow saboteurs to walk in. When you allow anybody just to come in and all of a sudden, because they read Destruction of Black Civilization, they come in, you know what I'm saying? You are exposing yourself to danger. You're exposing yourself to fuckery. You're exposing yourself to unhealthiness. You're exposing your women and your children to a possible predator. Hell, some of the, you know what I'm saying? Even some of the men, you're exposing them to predators. What is it that we can do as a group that can push an individual to a point where they have to get literally call on the ancestors to make it through without killing them? Because I ain't trying to have no damn lawsuits, even though that's unavoidable. And that's some of the shit we got to, you know, so we got to lawyer up. I'm just being honest. If we're gonna really build a community in Columbus, family, we got to lawyer up. We need a lawyer. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We need contracts. We need documents signed. You know what I'm saying? You can't just come in here and do this shit and then you fall dead because you wasn't meant to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you just fall dead. And I know some of y'all be like, man, that's kind of extreme, brother. But I'm just wondering, how serious are you about being free? How serious are you about building a nation? How serious? You know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers drop dead in college all the time. Pledging fraternities, they drop dead from stress, trying to get their PhD and get their masters, and some of them just trying to get their bachelors. People drop dead at work. You know what I'm saying? Working to support, because most of the jobs that we have, family, whether you want to agree with it or not, are designed to support the system that oppresses us. So my question is, when are we going to get on the grind to where at least we spend 2 hours a day in making sure that we are improving ourselves and improving our community? And then that 2 hours will be able to expand to 3 hours, and that 3 hours expand to 4 hours, and that 4 hours expand till eventually we got individuals that's working in our community every day of the week, working to build, working to raise the finances, working to protect our borders, working to make sure that our children are properly educated, working to make sure that our elders are taken care of and are safe, working to make sure that we are healthy, working to make sure, you know what I'm saying? There's no reason why we can't do that. That don't take a lot of money. That takes dedication. That takes individuals that's willing to do it. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna start to happen. Ms. Tiandra say most of the jobs that we have are designed to be part of the system. You know what I'm saying? We have to really understand this. See, when we talk about this white domination, because I hate using that other term, because that other term limits us. And I know some people like, brother, I tell you got to deal with the reality. But I am from the school of the Nguzo Saba, right? Where I understand self-determination, right? I hope nobody dropped it. Somebody else joined the call. Uh-oh. So we got Lady J on the line. So we know it's about to get dusty and arguing around here, because my young Pisces, my Padawan, I can't call her Padawan. She's a Jedi. You know what I'm saying?
Good night, and I love you.
Miss Sasha said good night and she love y'all. Huh?
Nope.
You said who?
Tell Sasha I love her more.
Hey, hey. I ain't gonna say your name out loud. You don't want your name out there like that. All right, shouts out to Miss Tiandra. Shouts out to Sakar78 on Instagram. Shouts out to Lady J. Shouts out to Brother Shamar. Shouts out to Miss Tracy. Anybody got something they want to say before we get into this folk tale? Because the folk tale is gonna cover this. Because this is why I'm jumping into it right now. No, she said she don't. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Hey, don't make me come up there. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame, y'all. But go ahead.
Yeah, so just real quick, I'm gonna throw this out here. Then I'm gonna wheel it back in. I'm gonna throw it away. All right.
All right.
So I had an opportunity to engage on a post. You know, I do a little commentating, which is why I wear my bag. And so I'm on this post, and the question I posted on the Gye-Nyame page, I don't believe I had any responses, but
I gave you a response. I gave you a response.
Okay, I gotta go back and read. What was your response?
Because now, are you talking about the one where you posted about if you had an ally, a white ally, or somebody who wanted to help us, a reading suggestion? Yeah, a reading suggestion. Yeah. I responded. Destruction of Black Civilization. The Metronetra by Ron F. Our Man, because they get into the whole spiritual system. The Half Has Never Been Told. And then I couldn't think of the other one at the time. It's one by Michelle Alexander, where they talk about the prison to, I think it's Michelle Alexander talk about the new Jim Crow. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that I'm getting towards now is that if I had to kind of identify the direction I'm heading in at this point in time, I'm a nationalist. I'm becoming more of a nationalist because I feel that in order for us to be able to help Black folks in other places, we got to be able to pull together and help ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, it's almost like to me, we're reaching out, trying to put the the plane is going down, and we're trying to put the mask on the rest of our family rather than putting our mask on first, so that we can make sure that we can stay conscious long enough so that we can put the mask on the other people around us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, But go ahead.
All right. So the only several people in the public did mention the destruction of a black civilization. I will tell you that was not one of my picks. So that is probably my favorite book. One of my favorite books of all time. I probably could read that book. I probably should read it again. But I did not choose that book because I felt like it was the book written by us, for us, about us. And I think that that's something that is our history. I don't want to give nobody no kind of ammunition for a text that they won't be able to comprehend. And I think that book provided a lot of truth for us. But what I will say, the books that I chose were both written by white people. I wanted to share the Silent Racism, Volume 1 and Volume 2, as well as the video. I wanted to share Uncle Tom's Cabin. I think they should read that. And my rationale for that is that there is a reason why this book was banned by white folks. This white woman told the truth about slavery, and white people hated that. And I think that in order that so many, I'm sorry, I shouldn't call them white, European Americans are about this idea that slavery happened so long ago and we should forget about it, this, that, and the other. But I think that the reason why they would think that would be easy is because they don't know what happened, right? They're in denial. So I think that they should become upfront and personal with the tragedy and the atrocities that took place. So Uncle Tom's Cabin would be, and then my other one was a documentary, Slavery by Another Name. I think that that's most important for the same reason that you chose the New Jim Crow. But what I noticed on the thread while I was reading, there were a number of African Americans. I'm not sure if they would call themselves enlightened or, I don't know what they would call themselves, but they were just adamant that we should not, that they would not be in favor of giving any European American any type of title. And some of them even went as far as to say, this is not their problem. And so the reason why I posted is because I have a problem with people who don't comprehend that some of the issues that we face in our community are not just that they're issues of injustice. And when there is an injustice, any and everyone is free to stand up and speak out. This morning I came across the post, and I will share it. But there's this European American woman, and I think she's a teacher for some reason, because I think the first time I watched her video or watched her speak, she was speaking, I want to say she was speaking on a situation that was occurring within a district, but I may be wrong. However, this lady speaks very eloquently, and she this week after the Super Bowl, I don't watch TV, so I have, I only seen little snippets of what was happening in Philadelphia. Well, this woman this European American woman made a video where she called out people on her page. And what she was basically saying is that you saying people were people who came very harshly when it came to the Black Lives Matter movement. You were very critical when you seen these people protesting and these people having quote unquote rioting. You were very critical of their actions. However, when you see people who look like you doing it, just because they won a game, you're silent, or you think that this is funny, right? And so she let these people have it. And mind you, I seen this after I had made my statements. But again, my statements went to just what this woman did. I don't need European Americans to join my battle. I don't need them to join my team. I don't need you on my squad. But what I do, and I don't need you in my circle technically, but what I do need you to do is bring about change in your circle, bring about change in your community, bring about change in your occupation, your place of employment. When people are saying and doing and having these ideas and expressing their bigotry, right? Perpetuating racism or stereotypes or prejudice. I need you to speak out there. I don't need you over here marching with me. I need you to put your own march together, march around your own community. If you get what I'm saying. But I do believe that those people are my partners in peace, right? Even though you don't have to come arm to arm with me, I do understand that wars are won through battles. You know what I'm saying? And the more people we have fighting, attacking the enemy, the better off we'll be. I always equated, this is the last thing I'll say, to the dragon on Mario Brothers. When it came time to kill that dragon in that castle, we had to use our firepower. We had to jump on them from all sides. We had to use whatever we had to kill that monster. And the same thing is going to occur with the system. We have to use every and all pieces of war. We got to use our propaganda. And we have to have us some partners in peace who, again, will advocate in their circles and speak up against injustice.
Now, I want to just say, that allies are taught. You know what I'm saying? Because if you, you have to educate people on how to be a good ally, because they have to bring something to the table, not just their body. You understand what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of people coming just empty-handed. You know what you know what I'm saying? They just bringing their body and they're not bringing any skill set that could really, really move us forward. And for us, I like the fact that you asked for a reading list to present them with, because they need to know the scope of the battle that we're fighting so that they can at least speak the language, because there is a unique language when it comes to us who are, in a sense, in the know. You know what I'm saying? There's a different type of language, there's a different type of speak that we have, the knows, who are just lost and don't really give a shit about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they need to learn to speak the language. They need to understand the economic ramifications of us being being enslaved, or captives, as I like to use the term, and in Jim Crow longer than we have been actual free, full citizens. You know what I'm saying? So in order for them to help us, they have to have that wisdom. They have to have that knowledge to know what and how they can help us. Like I said, advocating in their places of power. We don't need them coming talking to us. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the things that often happens. We get allies and they want to come talk to us and tell us what we need to do in our community. No, you go and tell those other West Asians that's giving us hell what they need to be doing. And you advocate for us getting that check. Now, I know people don't agree with that. I want my check. You understand what I'm saying?
So just for the reason that you stated, Tim, that's why I didn't want destruction of a Black civilization, because some of the things, and there's a lot of truth in that book. And I'll be damned if somebody read it and then think that they're going to be an expert or tell me this is why you are in a situation. And if y'all didn't do that, I don't want to hear that.
But I would hope that you would be open to the information if it is good. Now, as an ally, they have to approach us. Those of us that will be in positions of leadership, they have to approach us in a humble fashion. Like, America can see where Russia is going wrong, but they don't walk in and be like, motherfuckers, y'all don't know how to run your economy, blah, blah, blah. You don't know. They respectfully give the information in a proper fashion. Perhaps this might work better for you. You know what I'm saying? Because part of being our responsibility in being a power. See, because this is what we're not used to. We're used to the humble begging, and we have to get up out of that. You know what I'm saying? And we have to start getting into the demand mode. We got to get into the real leadership role. Like, because this is what I'm talking about as far as initiation, because one of the things we have to really do first before we can even have successful allies is start cleaning our house, because we got a lot of imposters posing in our house. You know what I'm saying? They're just as dirty as some of the people, or some of the descendants of some of the people that have done us dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example,
I agree.
For example, we have individuals that will flaunt their pedigrees from these institutions that are designed to study how to keep our enemies in power. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a real big thing about, because when you look at Kuji Chaglia, which today is self-determination, the ability to define yourself for yourself. Now that's of course, that starts with the individual, but then coming from a group sense, being able to define ourselves for ourselves. This means being able to define our masters. This means being able to define those at certain skills levels. This means being able to define those individuals who had the skills to help. We haven't stepped up to that position where, as a group, we are able to certify our masters.
You know what would help? And I'm not talking about the master piece, but I'm talking about outing those people who are counterproductive to our profession as a people, would be a propaganda campaign. I have said it several times, and now I'm not one to do this. I try to use my platform to send out happy vibes and good vibes. However, I think that there's a lot of things that go on in our community that we won't speak out against.
Right.
We won't shame. We won't put people on blast for the madness that they do. Like I said, that is counterproductive to our progression. So if there were more propaganda campaigns that called out these people who are doing foolish, who are doing things that make no sense, then they won't be so open and so ready to post or share their ignorance. And maybe they would not participate in it if there were memes and if there were posts that basically put them on blast. I'll just use one example. I am what people might call, what is that called? A troll. I sometimes troll Facebook, right? And so I have some children, some young teenagers on my Facebook, and a lot of times I'll go through their Facebook, I'll go through their friends' Facebook, and I'll end up at another kid's Facebook where they're posting pictures of guns. I've seen posts from kids at Columbus High School doing drugs in the class, things of this sort. And so my question always is, if I can see your child on Facebook doing all these things, how is it possible that you don't see your child on Facebook doing all these things? I even seen a post from a mom when her son, he was in a gang here in Columbus, and he got shot. And she was very upset with those individuals that were with him. Like her whole rationale was off to me. You see what I'm saying? And so my thing is, you have friends. None of your friends shun you for the fact that you let your kid run the street. None of your friends shun you for the fact that your son is on Facebook. And she had to be friends with her son in order for me to see her post and her reaction. But I was just boggled by that. Like, how did this happen? How does it happen? So these parents who are not supervising their children at all, who are preoccupied with all things that don't matter, right? Who either don't have the time, the patience, whatever, to parent. They need to be put to work. I'm not talking about those parents who are dealing with young adolescents, want to be young adolescents, right? Because you can do all the right things and your kids can still go through that period, like all the things, and you not know how to help them. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about those
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like a piece of that is a large piece of the culture, how it works is when it comes to situations like that, you have to find out to blame someone else for our own mistakes. Or things that could have been, with the mom saying she was blaming the other boy, that was her out for her, for not trying to take care of her kid, or, going the best route to make sure she's feeling like that. I know I see a lot of black people do that. When it comes to issues that could have been in their hands, could have been the main reason that the kid was on the path, they're not around to get too much advice, just being, certain things like that.
It's supervised.
It's supervised, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, there's supervision. That is key. Supervision.
But the issue with that is we have adopted a culture that is not our own. So cultural inappropriate behavior is.
When did we adopt this culture? When did we adopt this culture?
Go ahead. Okay, now somebody else was about to say something. Now we recently really start embracing this culture probably within the last 50 years, because in my lifetime I've seen some major changes far as how, because it's almost like we done went from being black to being tan. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, a lot of the behaviors of some of our kids are and some of us old enough to look at some of the stuff that these kids are doing and said, I wouldn't survive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really, literally, because I have meetings and parents be like, I can't control my child, and I can never imagine my mother while I was living with her saying some shit like that, or imagine my grandparents saying some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So within this last 50 years, there has been a dramatic shift in all. I'm saying because really when you look at it, we have only been, in a sense, full citizens of the United States for 53 years. Jim Crow last.
I shared that today.
Huh? Right.
I shared that post. I shared that I shared that in our town hall today for our Black History Back for Mindful Monday. That's what we didn't get a chance to do it yesterday because we had our outage. But I shared that for Mindful Monday just to give people something to think about. Not only. And when I explained it to my students who presented that today, I explained to them that there are some people that are going to want to make comments that they are not able to put their comments in context. But I just want to say I would not say it's been within the last 50 years, because I can honestly say that I came up within the 80s. Crack hit. I literally can remember it, right? I grew up in a family of addicts and dealers, right? But one thing that was for sure, and two things were for certain, we were taught to respect our elders. We were taught to treat people how we wanted to be treated. We had to repeat, at least in my household, I know better than nobody knows better than me, but I lived in a project. I watched as your neighbor. I can't tell you how many messages I got from my neighbor. You know what I'm saying? How many times I could go to my mom, go to my neighbors and borrow as soon as she got. You know what I'm saying? The number of times that she couched the neighbor's children into our vehicle and took them to the movie, the things of that sort. That was when I was coming up. And when I look at the children of today, I see a basic value. Very basic. So I love the music of the folktales. I love the proverbs, because those are the things that I feel like our children are missing. And they're missing the basics of just how to treat people, how to treat themselves. I'm not talking about your hip hop. I'm not talking about music, but music. I'm talking about music. Lowercase m, use capital S-I-C-K because it's making us sick, right? So I'm not talking about the music that came up on.
That and the movie, the whole scene, because now that goes right back, and like you said, you're gonna loop it back, right? So now I'm grabbing it, right? Because they bring it right back to the folk tales and the proverbs, because the music and movies and books are all stories or storytelling mediums. This is how the culture is is given from one generation to another. And we have to look at what we have allowed or what has been brought into our house and what type of stories were brought to our house. This is why I said our young people, and even some of us, are acting like Raymond Simone. I'm not black. I'm dark white. See, and it's funny. Right. See, I have no problem with that, with the American piece, because when you look at what the concept of America is, I am American. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact,
that's nationality. We'll mix up race, culture, ethnicity, and nationality. That's nothing to do with race.
Now, what I'm saying is that our people have lost their ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? Those things that were bedrocks upon which we lived our lives. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like we move from a brick road to a swamp, right? And our kids are just sinking deeper and deeper because they don't know no better. They don't know. Listen, you need to get back. We need to get back to the road. I can do what I want. I'm allowed to do what I want. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, with the erosion of the principles, because we can say, because I hear you when you say it started within the last few years, but I want you to understand that the erosions of the principles took almost a half of a century for it to get. It took a half of a century to get to where it is now. That started with them breaking down the whole idea of unity, and now I'm an individual. You know what I'm saying? Not really understanding that the individual exists for the group, and the group exists to protect the rights of the individual. You know what I'm saying? We lost the concept of unity. We start, if you look at how we are now, we done lost the context of the principles. We done lost how to use them. We done in a sense, put down the toolbox of culture. And we put down our toolbox, and we picked up somebody else's toolbox. And we're trying to figure out how to use that and how to make it work for us. But we would never do that because it wasn't designed for us. Their hands are too small. Let's just say, you know what I'm saying? The hammer that they use is too small for us. The screwdriver is the wrong shape and size. And we're tearing up what's ours. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it look like theirs. When in fact, we need to come back and embrace who we are. You know, once again, we're allowed to do culturally appropriate things. And this is one of the reasons that I started making people editors on the page, because if you want to go out and comment and call people out, usually I'm trying to, I don't give a fuck. They come here and do what they want. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to use your real name. Use that little symbol on Gye-Nyame Journey and start calling people out. They want to have a beat, and let them come. Let them come. You know, either I ignore them or I block them, but then now you are covered by the culture. See, because at one point in time, we was able to check each other, but now because we went into this whole independent thing and we all supposedly know everything, now I can't be checked. Now I'm an individual, so fuck the group. And when you look at every other people exist for their group. But hey, let's get into the folktale. Extra conversation. That's why I love having Lady J up on here. I love having all of you. But here we go. Brother Nguzo is in the house, the unsleeping one. Shouts out. All right. So here we go. The owl and the birds. Family. Please. Let me do this. I gotta do this first. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey. This is Folktales for grown folks. This is a heart of a simple production. We strive to blow up your old paradigm. So if you would, family, we can get on, like, and share, because the conversation might not be for you. You might have somebody in your life that needs this information, that needs this story. Our ancestors were incredible family. So pay attention. Here you go. The owl and the birds. An owl, in her wisdom, counsels the birds that when the acorn first began to sprout, to pull it up out of the ground and not allow it to grow. She said acorns will produce mistletoe, from which an irredeemable or irredeemable poison, the bird line, would be extracted, and by which they would be captured. The owl next advised them to pluck up the seed of the flax, which men had sown, as it was a plant which boded no good to them. And lastly, the owl, seeing an archer approach, predicted that this man being on foot would contrive darts armed with feathers, which would fly faster than the wings of the birds themselves. The birds gave no credence to these warning words, but considered the owl to be beside herself and said that she was mad. But afterwards, finding her words were true, they wondered at her knowledge and deemed her to be the wisest of birds. Hence, it is that when she appears, they look to her as knowing all things, while she no longer gives them advice, but in solitude laments their past follies. So let me read this brief version. And owl in her wisdom told the birds, told the birds that when the acorn first began to sprout, pull it up, get rid of it. Why? Because it will produce a poison that is very harmful to you. The mistletoe, from which a poison that there is no remedy for will be produced, called bird lime, will be extracted, and by which you will be captured. The owl next advised them to pluck up the seed of the flax, which men had sown, as it was a plant which boded no good to them, a plant that did them no good. It was poisonous to them. Flax seeds are poisonous to birds. Now, I don't know about flax seeds, but do y'all know why they stop people from throwing rice at weddings? The reason they stop, go ahead, you know?
No.
Because the birds will eat the rice, and the rice will swell up in their belly and kill the birds. Flaxseed is probably the same. The bird will eat it, and it will basically dehydrate the bird from the inside because it may be sucking up moisture, or it may swell up and make it impossible for it to pass outside the bird's body. All right? The birds gave no, and then, and lastly, the owl seeing the archer, somebody with a born arrow, predicted that this man, being on foot, will continue and contrive darts armed with feathers, which would fly faster than the wings of the birds themselves. The birds gave no credence to these warning words, but considered the owl to be beside herself and said that she was mad. They dissed her. But afterwards, finding her words were true, they wondered at her knowledge and deemed her to be the wisest of birds. Hence, it is that when she appears, they look to her as knowing all things, while she no longer just gives them advice, but in solitude, laments their past folly. Last session. Who want to go first? Again. Somebody break this down. Come on.
I'll take it. I'll take the first one.
Go ahead. Hit it.
You know, just trying to intertwine. Basically, it takes the culture to put themselves in situations that could have been avoided, end up destroying them, to build this listen and to in the first place. You know, they're looking at the attack by the man with the arrow. guys also meeting the slacks, the ski slacks. If you kind of join that with the culture, if we all just work together and taking information, even through one call, you know, so taking information, even through the slightest degree, to avoid the situation, would have been beneficial for them.
Okay. I'm with the nation builder. And as he spoke, I wasn't sure where, you know, where this might lie, but as he spoke, I just want to kind of just piggyback on that. I'm thinking of again the destruction of Black civilization. I'm thinking about the information that our ancestors have written in books. I'm thinking about a lot of these African American autobiographies that I've read, because I feel like they provide us a blueprint if we were to read them and adhere to them. I often, you know, when I express or I clarify, you know, I like to say I don't teach history, I teach social studies, because in order to know where I'm at and how to conduct myself, I need to know where I'm being, right? So just thinking about, again, our ancestors, the information that they have provided, the insights that they have provided, and though it would seem like they, you know, they are talking about a previous time, that is something that we can apply now. That is, and then I want to just throw this out. Why I think that I have a problem. People have posted, and there was a meme at some point that people were sharing that would say stuff like, I am not my ancestors, right? I am not my ancestors. So if you come to me trying to do A, B, and C, don't think I'm my ancestors. And I have so much resentment and issues with those statements, because if we want to say that our ancestors and those who came before us were weak, we don't recognize their strength, right? So when you say we are not our ancestors, I almost want to comment, yeah, you're damn right. You're damn right, because you don't have the resiliency, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the ingenuity, the innovation. You don't have a lot of things that our ancestors had, right?
Right.
So when you just make those blanket statements, again, you're not recognizing that they've already given us a blueprint. Maybe if we opened up our minds and our ears and our books, we wouldn't be in our current situation.
Word. So those of you on Instagram, the show gonna be ending. You come over and you can check us out and catch the rest of the show on Gye-Nyame Journey at Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, or you go to the YouTube channel. Brother Hatim, just look up Hatim. I'm streaming on. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Google. You know what I'm saying? So feel free to check it out. Make sure y'all like and share. All right. So now back to the story. Now I want to stress this, because this is what brought up the whole idea about me talking about this whole initiation piece. After speaking with Brother Smart, because the thing that I keep on trying to stress to people, I want y'all to understand, without a shadow of a doubt, man, our ancestors are incredible. Our ancestors were dope. Our ancestors sacrificed in ways that most of us could, you know what I'm saying? Some of us can't imagine going through life without a new pair of shoes. But we had ancestors that went through their whole lives barefooted. You know what I'm saying? And didn't want to try to compare ourselves to them, right? And we don't want to listen to the wisdom, right? And what's so dope about what starts to happen when you start like tuning in to shows like this, because this is not the only one like this. When you start listening to conversations like this, you start putting yourself into a certain vibration range. Like now your body and your mind is vibrating at a certain rate. Because every morning I try to tell people, open up your reticular formation, activate your reticular formation, and start looking for your principle. Look for the principle of the day. This is why I say that. Because now we have aligned ourselves to where when we read a story, the story falls in perfectly with what we are talking about on a daily basis and what we are struggling with, family. Our ancestors were playing. So now we have a story about an owl who is the symbol of wisdom all throughout history and time, that's sitting down with some of its relatives, because the owl is a bird. And you got all these other birds, and he's warning these birds who are not like the owl, because the owl don't eat seeds. The owl don't eat plants. It eats other animals. It's warning the younger animals about what's coming. And what they do, they look at her like she's mad. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us, when we get in our conversations and we start bringing up subjects like this, the people start looking at us like we're mad. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, she warned them first about poison. I mean, let's look around us right now. Let's look at the community right now. You know what I'm saying? How many of the prophets that we done had came in and started telling us and warning us about the poison? All right. You gotta go home. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, but hey, you're off. Onlydudes.com. And now, I know I'm doing the right thing, family, because I just was attacked. Now, I have a subscription to onlydudes.com. I'm loving this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because now, listen, how the fuck is he going to get in on the line? This is not even a register line. This is not even a phone line. I love it. Now, think about this, family. Think about this. We got this out that's warning the people, or its people, about poison. Is warning them about drugs in a sense, and is warning them about archers or people hunting them. And when she told them that, they laughed it off. They called her crazy. How many of our elders are we doing that to? People who have already experienced life. How many people are coming around, or how many times have you went to places and people come and say, hey, this is about to happen, or this has happened in the past, you need to be looking out for this. And you're like, man, I'm waving you off. How many times you know read a story like this and just basically laughed it off? But now, this is the key piece that I want to make sure people get. What did the owl do? Went on about her business. Not just went on about her business, she refused to share any more knowledge with them. See, this is one of the issues that we deal with in our community. I know I'm gonna get some disagreement on this. We give away knowledge, we give away wisdom to those who are uninitiated, which causes problems. And what do I mean? See, we want to bestow the secrets of the temple to individuals who have not even walked through the damn door yet. You see, we give away our secrets and we waste it on individuals, right? That are not worthy. You know what I'm saying? Which causes us problems. You know what I'm saying? The owl refuses to talk to the damn person anymore. I told you what was coming. Go ahead.
Okay, so real quick, okay, so I'm glad that when I was coming up, the people that I had in my life that were leading me, that were guiding me, that when I didn't listen, I'm very fortunate that they didn't stop off, because those things came to pass. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I may have had to learn the hard way, right? Yeah, I think about our children. Think about our youth. if we think if we say the same thing over and over again, one thing I refuse to do is to stop teaching. Now, there's a joke. My girls have jokes. They call me like a pastor. They say I'm about to preach. They call me the sister. They got all the jokes, right? Because I'm constantly giving these messages. But that don't stop me from giving messages. Because I know these things are going to come to pass. And once they get themselves in a situation, what I say or what I share will be make sense. So I get about sharing, with people who aren't listening, but I just want to say that's not the option for our view. We can't stop giving them the wisdom because we're telling them and we're guiding them and they're not hearing the message. We got to continue to speak that truth to them so that when it comes time, they'll apply it. Like I said, I'm just thankful to those people when I wasn't listening. When I was young, but when I was they kept at it. They didn't stop.
I'm about to get at you. Because you already know, because here I come, right? You know, one of the things that I have noticed, and it's popping up more and more in front of me. About 85% of our children listen. But we're so focused on the 10 to 15% that don't want it, that we often miss giving the information to those that do want to listen. And also, I'm saying this, what initiation does, see, because the owl, in a sense, stop talking. Why? Because she threw pearl to swine, right? Now, the ones that did listen more than likely may still be getting wisdom from now. I'm only saying that one of the reasons our children don't listen because there's no value on what we're sharing with them. They don't sense the value. They don't have a sense of value on it. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. With the owl stopped sharing wisdom. The owl stopped doing it. Why? Because now the people didn't value what she had. Now they got to come to her a different way to get it. We're giving away Jews for free. So now our children are getting all these Jews, right? They don't know what to do with this. And it's almost like because this is all they've been getting from us, they don't value it. I'm not going to listen the next time you predict. You know why? Because even though your prediction was right, I don't like the fact that you was right. So I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing until I'm on my head because I understand about the elders, but you know what? I do this too. When kids come around, I'm talking. When I perceive that I'm wasting my breath, I stop. I stop with them. You know what I'm saying? Because then I find that one, or maybe that two in the room that want to talk, and then we can talk. Because I'm no longer recruiting knuckleheads. I don't got time for that. I mean, maybe some of us out there do. I'm 50. I possibly got more time behind me than I got in front of me. So some of y'all in your 30s, y'all go ahead and do that. I'm like, boom, listen, what I got is valuable. I don't got time for this. You know what I'm saying? I don't walk out of class sessions. I don't shut down assemblies. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm at a point now where I don't have the patience to be given to be casting my pearls to swine so they can run over and then trouble me. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in the class today. I got a young man who refused to open the book. I got 85% of my kids doing what they're supposed to be doing. The one person that's trying to suck up all the attention is not doing no learning. You gotta get out. I had conversations with you. I'm not wasting conversations no more. All I'm saying is, family, in some ways, we got to stop wasting our conversations and we got to stop putting all of our effort into those little hard-headed ass ones that don't want it and start getting with the ones that do. Because for every out of 10, for 2 that don't want it. There's another possible 8 out there that do. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm going to counter that.
Go ahead. I know you
You
will.
got kids that don't know that they want it. And you got kids that when they hit a situation, everything that you said is going to replay in their head. I just shared with one of my girls tonight. I know my principal told me every day for 2 years that I needed to get rid of my ghetto mentality. And at that point, 9th, 10th grade, I had no clue what she meant. And I didn't even know I had a ghetto mentality. But it wasn't until I figured out what that meant that I could correct it. But for I could probably say almost every day for 2 years, this woman said, and I want people every day. You're going to be okay as soon as you get rid of that ghetto mentality. I thank God to this day that woman did not stop giving me that. I kept being ignorant. I kept being loud. I kept fighting. I kept doing everything that I was already doing. But she did not stop telling me. And so when I think about our children, that's just the world I say. You know, you want to, this is the period that you're at, and you're at left.
There you go.
But once you get through it, these things are going to make sense. And guess what? I can remember that statement because it's one of those statements that helped mold me to who I am. You know, and I just thank God she didn't give up. I don't have it in me to give up.
Now, but
because I wouldn't be where I am.
Listen,
people had to get it up on me.
I'm not.
People had to thought that my situation would be my outcome. You see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
The people had really thought that my situation, if they hadn't believed in me, I wouldn't be where I am. So, you know, I understand your perspective. You said you got more years behind you than you may have in front of you. I wouldn't hope you're wrong, but I'm just, you know, with that being said, I get it. But, you know, when it comes to our, I don't know, when it comes to our own, and I'm just speaking about you.
But all of them, and you're going to counter this one too, because all of them are not ours. I'm just saying. Because this is what I want to make. I just want to say this. I've been through the phase of my life where everybody black, we belong. Huh? You still what? Oh,
is anyone on the line?
Yeah, I'm on the line. Oh, my fault. Hold on. Now I'm here. Yeah, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? What I do so that it don't sound real bad on the recording, and for other people listening, I take my mic off because sometimes it comes through double. Because it comes through speaker, so I don't want to bother y'all with that. But the piece that I'm saying is, now, she gave you a scratch. It was a valuable.
You're not as clear as you were back now.
Okay, well, I don't. That started to happen. I got the cheap ass mic. Don't worry about it. But she gave you a scrap, and she fed you where you were. In some form of fashion, you showed her that you listened, even though you didn't understand what she was saying. You heard her. You know when people hear you, right? And you know when people are just being, you know, because this is the issue, right? In initiation, you go to a level. You go out to the world, you experiment with it. When you understand it, you come back, then you go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? That's like your bachelor's, your master's, your PhD. You get your bachelor's, you go out to the world, you try, you go out, boom, I need a master's. You come back, you get your master's, you go out to the world, boom, you need to go a little bit more in depth with your studies. We don't do our stuff like that. Like I said, I'm just saying, I feel that a lot of gems we're giving away. The people that are not even worthy. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even worthy. So, hey, all right, what I'm about to do is, because I know that all of us have to get ready for our event just because fortunately I'm on the line. Oh my God. Man, I dropped it on Facebook. So I know many of us, you know, so I'm not to be the one to say, hey, family, I'm about to lay it down because, you know, we got our event tomorrow. So I'm going to say peace. I'm going to thank everybody that was on the line. Lady J, Brother Shamar, CeeLo, Tiandra, Brother Nubis, and I'm going to say peace, family. We out tonight. I will see you on the morning or some of you on the morning for the toast. But I appreciate every last one of you, and I want to thank all of you. And now class is out of session. And this, and let me stress this point. I'm not here to convince you on my view. Lady J is not here to convince you of her view. The only thing they actually do is think. I mean, goddamn it, just think. You understand what I'm saying? Think. That's all these folks here do for us. They allow us to think and have intelligent conversation. And sometimes it might be heated, sometimes it might be laid back, but there's still love there. And we need to make sure that y'all understand that. Because we got so many of our folks that don't appear. And I'm just saying appear. It don't appear to me that they're doing anything, and it hurts my heart. You know what I'm saying? All right, family. I'm about to get up out of here. Class is out of session, and I'm gone.